Hello, students. Welcome to our ecology classes. The topic for today's discussion is grassland. Grasslands are open, wide areas of land covering close to approximately one-third of the Earth's terrestrial surface. Grasslands are normally found in the plain region generally. They can also be found elsewhere. This region lies in the interior of the continents. Mind it, they are generally found in the interiors, okay? Interiors of the continents and therefore receives low rainfall. This is something very, very important. The rainfall received by the grassland is considerably low, and this factor alone determines what type of vegetation will be occurring in the grassland areas. The annual range of temperature is high between warm summer and cold winter. The temperature generally varies from minus 5, generally from minus 5 degree Celsius to 20 degree Celsius. Rainfall occurs as a result of conventional ascent of air during summer. Owing to low rainfall and cold winter, trees are generally absent. This is another very, very important point. It gets rainfall, but that is not enough to sustain trees. So, trees are generally absent in grassland region. So, grasslands can be defined as an intermediate in the environmental gradient with two extremes, forests and desert at the two ends. See, have forests normally receive huge amount of rainfall and it can sustain huge trees. This is one extreme. Whereas deserts receive scanty rainfall, almost precipitation there is almost nil. So it cannot sustain, it cannot support growth of trees over there. So grasslands can be considered as an intermediate. Okay, they can be considered as an intermediate with two extremes at the two ends. Right? Now we'll come to the two major types of grasslands. What are they? One is the tropical savanna or tropical grassland. The other is the temperate grassland or prairies or steppes. They are known by different names at different places. This is an important point which is common to both. They will have hot summer temperatures and low precipitation. So this point is common to both these grasslands. Now we'll come to one by one. Now first coming to tropical savanna. So from the word tropical itself, we can understand that these grasslands occur in the tropics, near to the tropics. Okay, they occur in Africa, Australia, Southern America, and Indonesia, and receive 20 to 60 inches of rainfall annually. The soil here is poor in nutrient. The grasses are short and they grow better in comparison to the other. They are short and are extremely good for grazing. They are ideal for grazing. That means it is a good land for cattle to graze. Then we'll come to temperate grassland. It is also known as prairies or steppes. They occur at the temperate latitudes and receive 10 to 35 inches of annual rainfall. The soil here is normally rich in nutrients and the grasses are taller. So this is a typical grasslands with cattle grazing. So grasslands can easily be called as the kingdom of grazing animals. Next we'll come to the economic base here. The natural vegetation is predominantly short grasses. These grasslands are known by different local names such as the steppes of Eastern Europe, prairies of North America, pampas of Argentina, and downs of Australia. This name pampas has come from pampas deer. This is the home to pampas deers. This region has fertile black soils which are rich in organic matter. So the soil here is fertile. Wheat is the most widespread crop cultivated in these grasslands. So generally Poasian members grow well in these lands. USA, Canada, Argentina and Australia are major exporters of wheat. Along with wheat, maize is also cultivated in the warmer parts of the region. Now, large-scale export of meat and dairy products from Australia, New Zealand, and Argentina has become possibly has like this has become possible by the use of refrigerated holds in ships. Now, see, export of business of meat and dairy products can be very popular in regions where there are extensive grasslands because see these animals which are reared for meat and dairy products can easily graze in these region. The natural vegetation consists of deciduous forests. Coniferous forests are found on the hill slopes. Intensive agriculture is pretty common here. Now, plants that are generally plants that are generally found here are wheat, barley, potatoes, sugar, beet. So these are some of the most important agricultural crops. Mixed farming, both agriculture and animal rearing is very common here. Mineral resources have been utilized extensively to provide power and raw materials for industries. Fishing has developed on a commercial scale as the shallow continental shelf is extensive in this area. Then we'll come to human adaptation. The Red Indians of North America who inhabited their region were nomadic hunters. Now, in Central Asia, nomadic herding is the main occupation, so it is the primary occupation there. Such nomadic way of life prevails only in isolated areas. In the United States, Ukraine, and Russia, extensive mechanized agriculture has developed. Extensive level plains, large size of farmhouses, and shortage of farm labor have led to the use of machinery of all types on the farm. Pastoral industries has also developed on a commercial scale and machines are being used nowadays for slaughtering of animals, packing of meat and dairy products. Grasslands are facing quite a number of threats these days. Now let's learn about what are the different threats these grasslands are facing. These are some of the most important ones: global warming and climate change. Global warming has got a has got perceivable detrimental effects on grasslands. It leads to change in climate, and as climate changes, rainfall or precipitation will change, the temperature range will change, and it will affect plants growing there. Next, coming to urbanization, the blooming population needs to be fed. So, providing food security is one of the toughest challenge that the world is facing these days. So, to feed the growing population, there needs to be enough number of crops growing. So, in order to grow more and more crops and sustain the growing population, grasslands are being destroyed and are being converted to croplands. Expansion of agriculture and urbanization, these two, they go hand in hand. Urbanization, expansion of agriculture is also for the purpose of feeding the poor. Urbanization is not only for the purpose of agriculture, but building up of more and more industries, offices, IT sectors, all these are part of urbanization. And to build all these buildings and all these offices, you need land. To get land, grasslands are being destroyed and used for all these construction purposes. Next is grassland fire. Grasslands are often subject to fire. Now, to protect grassland fires need to be prevented. Now, what is the importance of learning all these things? Why do we need to preserve all these things? There is a purpose behind this. The purpose behind this is the basic purpose behind this is to maintain biodiversity. If grasslands are lost, our biodiversity, the equilibrium will be lost. Grasslands sustain huge number of species. So, in a way, the species richness in the grassland will be hampered. It will be endangered. It will be lost with time. Then, if grassland is destroyed, the life of cattle will be at stake. The cattle can no longer feed properly from the grassland. So, indirectly, it will hamper the food chain as well. So, to maintain the natural balance, natural ecological balance, we need to protect the grasslands. So, this is how we come to an end of our lecture today. Hope you have enjoyed learning this. If you have any confusion, any doubt anywhere, please feel free to get back to me in the comment section. Thank you so much for your kind attention. Goodbye.